Oh, okay, so that, and that, okay.
Welcome everyone. It is Wednesday, November 18, 2015. This is notice for our regular meeting. Let's proceed with the agenda to item C1. Call to order. Let the record reflect that Board Member Cantu, Board Member Marisa Hernandez, and myself are present. Board Member Gomez and Board Member Lita Hernandez will not be with us today. Let's move to item C2. Pledge of Allegiance. If we can all please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Let's proceed with item C3, adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
They can't hear you.
So
We have Tom, it seems that they can't hear us in the back. Do I have to speak closer? Is that better in the back? No? Yes? I'll try my best. We're in item C3, adoption of the agenda. We have a motion from Marisa Hernandez. Do we have a second?
Second.
A second by Board Member Cantu. All those in favor to adopt the consent agenda as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well. Motion carries. We now move to item D, reports and summary of current events. Superintendent Dr. Chavez.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President, governing board members, and welcome everyone to our regular governing board meeting. It's always a pleasure to have our students with us, so we want to welcome them also. Thank you for being here. You guys look really nice in your uniforms, so we really appreciate you being here. I'd like to begin by congratulating Karen Hurley. She's a 5th grade teacher at Brett Harbor Elementary, and she has been named ELL Teacher of the Year. I'd like to invite our governing board to come out and celebrate. We'll be in Tucson on December 9th. And please let Elsa know if you're able to attend. On the agenda this evening, we do have a change of the December 9th governing board meeting to the 16th. The reason we're proposing that is so that we can all attend the dinner for Karen. So please give Karen a big round of applause. One of the things that's interesting is that out of the past 3 years, Cartwright has won ELL Teacher of the Year 2 years out of the 3. Tara Smith won it a couple of years ago. So hey, we're gonna win it again another time too. So our teachers are just simply awesome. I also would like to congratulate our golfers from Estrella and Atkinson Middle School. They participated in the second annual Phoenix Union High School District Golf Championship. That was held on October 21st, 2015 at the Aguila Golf Course in Levine. Our students represented the Trevor Brown Bruins and placed first in the boys division. I'd like to congratulate Ivan, Adrian, Diego, Brian, and Ozzy for their participation, and they really did very well. So I know that their principal is very proud of them, as well as we are. So please give them a big round of applause. I'm also pleased to inform you that our district has agreed to participate in the Youth Education Engagement Services Program. This is endorsed by MAKISA. The program addresses youth who are currently in the court diversion programs or a secure care program. This particular program will assist us with alternatives to keep youth out of the justice system. So we will be collaborating with other schools, and we are very optimistic that this particular program will be successful in reducing the number of youth who fit into the school to prison pipeline. So we're very interested in doing well in that. Also, I'd like to thank Educational Services for presenting at the AZLOS conference. Dr. Lawler did a wonderful job, and so did Kay Radovich, and also Deborah Kinsley was there supporting us. So please give them a big round of applause. And also, our governing board had a retreat on November 5th, and Karen Loftus from ASBA was there. So each of our governing board members were there, 100% participation at that particular retreat. So our governing board also deserves a big round of applause. Your hands are going to get tired tonight. In observance of the Thanksgiving holiday, remember our schools will be closed. This is going to break your heart, girls. Will be closed on November 25th through the 27th, and the district office will be limited from November 25th and closed the other 2 days. So on behalf of myself and the staff, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a safe and happy Thanksgiving holiday. And at this point in time, I'd like to introduce Ms. Veronica Sanchez, Director of Communication and Community Engagement, who will present the Superintendent's Award of Excellence.
Good evening, Mr. President, Dr. Chavez, governing board members, and the entire executive team. Tonight, we honor a soccer team, not just for their skills on the field, but for the way they behaved during the soccer playoffs this fall. Guided by their coach, Lorraine Marquez, who is here tonight, they were models of the Leader in Me movement, which teaches students good behavior as well as good leadership. Our girls helped other coaches by setting up nets before their games, by cheering on other Cartwright schools, and by greeting their opponents before every single match with kindness, consideration, and with a willingness to help them with anything they needed during their games at Cartwright. So impressed by their kindness, coaches from the Isaac School District reached out to us and wrote about how special these girls are. Our young women may have lost in the playoffs this fall, but they are winning when it comes to leadership and class. We have a short video to illustrate this. Tom?
First taste of victory, I pulled the girls and I told them we remember what it felt like being on the opposite side.
We kept our head up no matter what happened in the game, and we helped the other team, like we were nice to them.
At first it was shy, but when we were doing it more times, we got used to it.
when you go to sleep and wake up in the morning, it makes you feel good to know that you were on this team.
We help each other and we try to do our best.
We kept our head up no matter what happened in the game.
Whenever someone was hurt, we would always take a knee because that's a respectful thing to do.
I think just this type of recognition is just kind of amazing.
Thank you, Tom. And now I will read the names of all 19 players as well as their coach. Please come forward to accept the Superintendent's Award of Excellence. First up, Annette Hidalgo. Jocelyn Hernandez. Stephanie Castro. Rosa Gutierrez. Denise Barajas. Nita Unger. Juliana Feliz Aispuro. María López. Montserrat Mendoza. Cintia Arajo.
Congratulations, Cynthia.
Melanie Montano. Yaslin Palma. Relisa Jaime Crisóstomo.
Congratulations.
Melissa Terán Medina. Jacqueline Ponce. Jessica Luviano. Dayanita Barajas. Giselle Alba.
Congratulations.
And lastly, the coach of this wonderful team, Lorraine Marquez. One last thing before we go. Captain Nina Unger would like to present some gifts to Dr. Chavez, Board President Lopez, and the VALIC representative.
Thank you. Hey, check
Cinda?
this out.
You're welcome. Signed soccer balls from this wonderful team in thanks and appreciation for being recognized. Can we get you girls a little bit closer, please, so you can take a picture with the Superintendent and Board President Lopez? Thank you. Smile big, please. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
And they also have some gifts from Alec, right? Good job, girls.
There's candy in here.
The glasses and granola bars come from VALIC. It's a company that deals with money and money management. And the person that gave you that gift is here with us. I'd like to give a big round of applause to Cinda for her philanthropy. And also, as you may know, Brian Johnson and Mr. Rob Aguilar are here, the administration for Cartwright. Please give them a big round of applause. You girls got to understand that you inspire us. All of us up here looking at you down there, doing what you're doing in our community, making our district proud and making yourselves proud has made us proud here up in the dais. So thank you very much for being here this evening. At this point in time, I'd like to introduce Dr. Chad Geston. He's the interim superintendent of the Phoenix Union High School District, who will introduce himself and speak briefly about the Phoenix Union High School District. Hi there.
Good evening. Good evening. President Lopez, Governing Board, Dr. Chavez, good to see you, and the entire Cartwright community. Just came tonight to speak very briefly on a couple of points. Wanted to quickly introduce myself, wanted to thank you for your continued partnership with the Phoenix Union High School District, and then just give a couple brief updates. So first of all, as Dr. Chavez said, I'm Chad Geston. I'm now the interim superintendent in Phoenix Union. I've been at Phoenix Union for 7 years now, was previously the director of leadership overseeing all the principals in our district. Before that, spent some time as the principal at Camelback High School. But before that, was not very far from here, was in the Isaac School District. Actually worked with Dr. Chavez's brother, Armando, and with Riley Chavez in the back, who was one of my first bosses when I entered education. And so a great boss and role model to have. Was an assistant principal and a principal in Isaac, and then also was in the Roosevelt School District. But tonight, again, I really mainly want to do two things. I want to thank you for your ongoing partnership with Phoenix Union. I would argue, and many of us would, that this is our strongest partnership with our partner schools. And I say that because almost 100% of Cartwright students come to the Phoenix Union High School District. The vast majority of your students go directly to Maryville High School and Trevor Brown, but it's about 96% of Cartwright students come to the Phoenix Union High School District. Again, most of those go to a couple of our large campuses, but I did tonight want to talk about a new school in Phoenix Union. You've probably heard a lot about it in the community, but if you haven't, I want to just share some news that we are launching another small school in the Phoenix Union High School District. We have a small school initiative. You probably know we have Bioscience High School downtown. It's a nationally accredited school. We also have Franklin Police and Fire, which also received a National Blue Ribbon last year. And we are now launching the Phoenix Coding Academy. And so it's another small school. It'll be much like Bioscience in Franklin, where we will accept about 120 freshmen. It'll grow to a student population of about 400 to 500 students. But it's a school that will be primarily focused on computer coding and programming. We know that the vast majority of the technological jobs in the future are going to be in the programming and coding world, and they're looking for kids right out of high school. And so we often joke that in Phoenix Union, our goal is to send almost every kid to college, but at the Coding Academy, our hope is most of them go into highly lucrative jobs and make more than we do right out of high school. And so we've been partnering with Intel and Hewlett-Packard and Google to launch this school. And so we just wanted to let you know about this school. We also want to offer a tour of the campus. It's a beautiful campus. It's a small campus. And after the holidays, we'll send information to Dr. Chavez, but we're going to open up the new campus to leadership and governing board of our partner districts to come tour the Coding Academy and have an opportunity to meet the new principal and the staff there. A lot of great things happening in Phoenix Union, and it could not happen without the success and the support of the Cartwright School District and our other partner districts. So just wanted to introduce myself really quickly and thank you so much for your ongoing support and answer any questions if that's the case, but again, mainly just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you for being here. We know you're an extremely busy man, but thank you for taking the time to come and share the opening of that coding school. We appreciate it.
Of course, of course. Thank you so much.
Yes, Mr. Jackson, thank you for being here.
Of course.
Mr. President, I'm sorry. Thank you for being here.
campus is in Central Phoenix.
Oh, Central Phoenix.
Yeah, so it's almost directly about 5 miles east of here. So it'd probably be just one bus ride down the road, so not too far away. I know you do have quite a few students, not a lot, but quite a few students who go to Franklin and bioscience, and it's actually would be a quicker drive than going to those schools for most of the community here.
Thank you. Thank you again for coming in. Introduce yourself.
You're very welcome.
Any other questions? Go ahead, please.
Okay, I just wanted to say my son actually is really interested in going to Franklin, so I'm really happy that you guys do offer that within your high schools. An awesome job with your new academy. That sounds great. It's nice that you have other things that you can offer aside from just a typical high school. So
Yeah, thank you.
It's a little rigorous process to get into Franklin.
It is a very rigorous process to get into Franklin. We actually have 5 schools that have such high interest within the community that we're probably going to move to a lottery next year for 5 of our schools. But we're proud of our small schools, but we're also proud of our large schools. I think we feel very fortunate to be able to do both. And our large schools have big clubs and sports, and there's a mystique to large high schools, but there's also that small school feel that we can offer at our small schools. So we're happy to offer both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night.
At this point in time, I'd like to introduce Dr. Lawler. However, if you look at C, we were going to talk about the AZ merit results. However, the email that we read with Arizona Department of Education, they would like to hold off until November 30th to provide that information to the public. So we will hold that particular presentation until our December meeting, and it will be presented at that point in time. So what I'll do is introduce Dr. Lawler, and she'll give us an update and on focusing on the first best instruction. So Dr. Lawler, it's all yours.
Thank you, Dr. Chavez. Mr. President, members of the governing board. Yeah, we got a little anxious. We just can't wait to show you the scores, and they keep telling us to wait. So we apologize for that, but we will bring them back in December, hopefully. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to introduce Patricia Lopez. She is our awesome Director of Teaching and Learning. And we just want to reiterate that despite what the scores are now as our baseline, our primary focus is first best instruction. And we want to continue to share what we're doing in Cartwright to really increase the rigor in our classrooms. We have wonderful teachers and wonderful principals, and of course, exceptional students that rise to those high expectations. And so we want to share with you how we're doing now and what our plans are for the future. So, Mrs. Lopez.
Can you hear me pretty well? Good evening, Governing Board. Good evening, Dr. Chavez and executive team. I'm happy to be here to talk to you a little bit about depth of knowledge and how we're working to increase rigor in our classrooms. As you can see, this is the initiative circle. I know that you've seen this before, but I want to draw your attention to Tier 1. It's the blue boxes. Tier 1 is where we're focusing our work on depth of knowledge. Also, look at the yellow boxes. The yellow boxes, you can see that the standards define your year, the objective defines the units, and the learning targets define our day. I'm going to talk about that just a little bit. So I want you to see how everything is interconnected and how everything supports the initiative circle, how this initiative circle really does support the guaranteed and viable curriculum and our efforts to make sure our students are ready for high school and ready for college and career. So the depth of knowledge. According to the blueprints from the Arizona Department of Ed, we know that 40 to 60% of the points a student can earn on the English Language Arts Assessment come from the depth of knowledge level 2, and that 60 to 70% of a student's math points on the Arizona Merit also comes from depth of knowledge 2. So what is depth of knowledge? Depth of knowledge refers to the cognitive demand a student must process to answer a question or complete a product. I'm going to go over just a few examples with you so you can see the differences. There are 4 levels to the depth of knowledge. The higher a teacher addresses his or her teaching, the higher the cognitive demand the students need to use. Level 1 is called recall and reproduce, also known as just the facts. In this level, there's mainly one answer to a question. Level 2 is called skills and concepts, also known as making connections and constructing meaning. Level 3 is called strategic thinking and reasoning, also known as analysis and evaluation. And level 4 is extended thinking, which is also known as synthesis. We are working on having teachers move from level 1 to level 2 and beyond in their daily work with students. Here are some examples to consider. Have you seen the movie or read the book Little Women? It's an old Christmas movie about a family, Little Women. Here's an example of the different types of questions and in the different levels. Level 1 question a teacher might ask after they read the novel Little Women. Which sister from the book Little Women wrote the Christmas play? Notice there's one answer to this question. I think it's Joe. Here's a level 2 question. Which elements in Little Women help classify the book as a coming-of-age novel? Notice that students need to know what elements make up a coming-of-age novel and know the book Little Women. So they're using 2 pieces of information and doing something with it. Whereas in level 1, they just had to answer one question. Now they have to compare and they have to contrast. They must know examples and non-examples. This is the level that is highly tested in the Arizona Merit. Here, students must know how to justify their answer with evidence using 2 passages. They have to be able to read 2 passages. They have to know multiple definitions of a word and be able to select them on an assessment. This is the level that teachers must plan for in their daily learning targets. Remember those yellow boxes? They have to plan for level 2 in their daily learning targets and in their teaching. This is a huge level for our teachers to be aware of. Here's an example for level 3. What events from the novel Little Women reflect Joe's fear of change? In level 3, there are more than one answers, and students must justify their answers as well. They must have stamina. This level requires planning and logical arguments. Students must be able to read multiple passages or read a video and read a couple of passages and use that information from all those sources to write an essay or respond to a prompt. Students must think with reason and think strategically. This is tested on the Arizona Merit. Level 3 is in writing. So in writing, students have to look at different sources and synthesize all that information together. Level 4. It is said that Little Women is a semi-autobiographical representation of Louisa May Alcott's life. Research her life and write a comparison essay demonstrating the accuracy of this claim. Now this level 4 is tested less than level 3 on the AZ Merit, but look at the cognitive demand it requires. It's like a research paper. They have to look up information and they have to compare it and analyze it and support their claim. So as you can see, students need to be able to use multiple sources of information and put something together. These different levels is how we increase rigor in those classrooms. What we're doing to support our teachers and our administrators is the following. We have leadership development. Our school coaches and our school administrators have already received a 1 full day of training along with half a day for the school coaches. They in turn work with the teachers themselves on understanding depth of knowledge, questioning, and activities. And each site will get 3 site visits. I'm going to talk a little bit about that on the next slide. Administrators were offered support through educational services in giving their staff a professional development in the depth of knowledge. So everyone has that opportunity. They still have that opportunity. All the teacher specialists from educational services are ready to go. All they need to do is let us know when they want it. We are working with a consultant, Insight, to help us develop our leaders and teachers through depth of knowledge professional development. This year, as I said, we provided the PD, we will professional development, we continue to do so. We know that we must develop our teachers and give them the tools they need to do their job. Teachers want to do well, and using the depth of knowledge tool can help them increase rigor in the classroom. And this is not as easy as it sounds. Matter of fact, when we visit classrooms, we see a lot of level 1 right now. We're really trying to move towards level 2, and you can see why. The leadership teams at the school sites consist of the school coaches and the administrators. They had a visit in September by the consultant. The consultant and a representative for educational services meets with the school leadership team. We had our first training in September and we're gearing up for the next one in December. This small, intimate circle of leaders provides an opportunity for school leaders to ask questions and learn how to move a teacher who is teaching at level 1 to level 2 and beyond. Each school developed an action plan on exactly how they're going to do that. In December, the team will revisit the plan and receive more support from the consultant and talk together and learn together. Educational services already visit schools on a regular basis. However, now we're going to be visiting schools with a focus on the following. Dr. Jasmer and myself. Dr. Jasmer is the author of this walkthrough document. However, just last week, her and I revised it to reflect the guaranteed and viable curriculum. Educational services will be using this walkthrough rubric to visit classrooms and gather data. And we're going to be looking for 3 things. The learning targets. Do they match the guaranteed and viable curriculum? Vocabulary. Is vocabulary being taught that matches the guaranteed and viable curriculum? And lastly, depth of knowledge. What levels are we seeing throughout all the classrooms in the district? This information will be shared with administrators as well as Dr. Lawler and her team, and will help us provide and plan for professional development to improve Tier 1 instruction, which are those blue boxes that you saw in that initiative circle. We know it all starts with the teacher, and we know that teacher development and administrative development is key, and that is what we're trying to do with our consultant and with our depth of knowledge training. At this time, we'll take any questions, Dr. Lawler or myself.
Thank you, Patricia, for that presentation. You broke it down rather nicely. Beautiful example with Little Women. Really nice job. So we will take any questions that you'd like to ask, and we'll try to answer them.
Do we have any questions? Board Member Cantu?
Thank you, Mr. President. Just not a question, a statement. Really, you were prepared. I don't know how well we can do, but at least you are waiting for what's coming, right, Dr. Lawler?
Yeah, that's right.
And I think that when there's changes in the education system, I recall from the past that it was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's coming up. And today it's a clear example that you guys know what you're doing. And that will make a difference. Will make a difference in whatever results we get out there. Hoping for the best, but you have a plan in place, and that makes a huge difference. Thank you, and thank you for your hard work. Thank you, Dr. Long, for your work and your team's work.
Thank you. Any other questions? No other questions? Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you very much. I just want to add one last thing. It's critical that we move from level 1 to level 2 and beyond. The principals know it, our superintendent knows it, our assistant superintendent knows it, and we're all working towards it. So thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Patricia. This concludes my update. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Let's move to item 2, board updates. We'll start with Board Member Cantu.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to be very, very brief tonight. Other than our board retreat, I think that I didn't have much of an activity other than my vacation, my personal vacation. But I want to take the time to congratulate the students. They're what they're doing, what we offer them is just amazing. I want to thank the parents for their support, and I want to thank the teacher for their job. Because without the teachers, without that support, students won't be able to have that extra activity at the end of the day. And soccer is my passion, you know that. I love soccer, so thank you to the teacher and thank you to the students. The recognition to them will help them move, forward on this. And I also want to congratulate Karen Hurley, because despite of the Arizona merit and the challenges that we have, I think that we continue to move Cartwright to a higher level. I want to congratulate her and hope that I can be there for her recognition. And last but not least, I want to wish every single one of you very happy and safe Thanksgiving. Go home 4 days, enjoy, no work. Good night.
Thank you, Board Member Cantu. Board Member Marisa Hernandez.
Good evening, everyone. So, I also wanted to say congratulations to our Cartwright Cougars for a job well done. Karen Hurley for winning the ELL Teacher of the Year. And also to all of the staff members involved in the job share for jumping in and doing what was needed to support our students as much as possible. Because at Cartwright, what really matters is our students, and the teachers and the staff and administration do an amazing job of supporting our students. So I'm extremely appreciative for that. I also wanted to wish everyone a happy and safe Thanksgiving, as we will not have another meeting prior to. And just thank you for doing such an amazing job, despite everything that's going on right now, including our AZ Merit. So thank you for the great presentation and for breaking down what it is that Cartwright is doing to achieve better scores on the goals, the AZ Merit for our children. I unfortunately haven't been doing much. I've been dealing with a sick family member and flying back and forth from Kentucky. So I just wanted to say thank you for continuing doing an excellent job. And I couldn't ask for more from everyone here. So thank you. And I hope you all have a great evening after this. So thank you.
Thank you. And as far as my update, I just wanted to share that I recently joined a national organization. They're called the Fair Share campaign here in Arizona, the Arizona Fair Share campaign, and it's a campaign to end childhood hunger. And so I'll be writing a letter to the editor and an op-ed as well, just to share some of the things that we do here in Cartwright when it comes to the breakfast in the classroom and all the other innovations that we have in order to provide food for families in need. They're trying to gather governing board members and elected officials, city council members, to start talking about this issue so that we can get some traction when it comes to the federal level, just so we can get some type of legislation, some federal dollars to help us in every single state fight child hunger. So that's one of the things that I recently focused on. I haven't been really active in the classroom, but I also wanted to share that on Thanksgiving Day, there's a McDonald's owner on Central and Southern, Julian Bosney, and so they'll be providing free meals to families on Thanksgiving Day from 6 a.m. to noon. It's free. It's a type of community fair. There's all kinds of nonprofit organizations providing services for the community, anything from health to college and other items as well. My organization is going to be there providing school supplies for the kiddos, but I just drafted an email for Elsa and Christine, and I'm going to send it right now. And I was thinking that we can probably pass it to the principals and see if you guys can pass it to the parent liaisons and share this benefit with the parents. We know that unfortunately not everyone's going to be fortunate to celebrate a meal on Thanksgiving, and so this business owner does as much as he can. Last year they were able to feed 6,000 people until they ran out of food, so they're getting ready to do a little bit more than 6,000 this year. So I'll pass the information to Elsa and Christine, and hopefully they can send it in as soon as they can to you guys. And I as well attended the retreat. It was a great opportunity to continue the professional development for the governing board, and we're looking forward to continue our journey as the governing board. Lastly, I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, and we look forward to seeing you on a regular board meeting for the month of December. Thank you. Let's move on to item E, call to the public. It doesn't seem that we have any calls to the public as of now. If there's anybody in the audience who wishes to address the board, this is the last opportunity. Hearing none, we'll move on to item F, consent agenda. Dr. Chavez.
Yes, Mr. President, governing board members, the administration recommends approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Second.
Motion was made by board member Cantu and second by board member Marisa Hernandez. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor to accept the consent agenda as presented signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well. Motion carries. We now move to item G, other action items. G1, 2015 proposed Arizona School Board Association bylaws change in online voting authorization. Dr. Chavez.
Yes, Mr. President, governing board members, the 2015 proposed Arizona School Boards Association bylaw changes in online voting authorization. The rationale for this tonight would be to ask you to vote on two changes to the ASBA bylaws being proposed by the Native American Indian Caucus of ASBA and the ASBA Governance Committee. The two changes are as follows. Proposal 1, Article V, Section 2, rationale is the current ASBA bylaws include a board seat alternate between a Native American and Hispanic member annually. As a result, each year the president and the immediate past president will represent each of the two distinct groups of the board members. This proposal allows for the caucus to have each group represented by individuals in the respective roles of president and immediate past president to serve on the ASBA board. You get an opportunity to vote on Proposal 1, and then you also get an opportunity to vote on Proposal 2, Article V, Section 5, rationale. The ASBA Governance Committee has recommended the proposed bylaws change to facilitate fairness in the voting process. So we can begin by voting on Proposal 1. If in fact we vote yes on Proposal 1, the logical thing to do would be vote yes on Proposal 2. The online voting would begin on November 2nd and through 5 o'clock through November 30th. The administration respectfully asks that you appoint yours truly as your representative to cast the vote on the ASB website prior to November 30th deadline. Mr. President?
Do we have a motion to approve bylaw proposal 1, Article 5, Section 2?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Board Member Melissa Hernandez and second by Board Member Cantu. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor to vote on bylaw proposal 1, Article 5, Section 2, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, but aye as well. Motion carries. We now move to Section 2, bylaw proposal 2, Article 5, Section 5. Do we have a motion to approve as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Board Member Melissa Hernandez and second by Board Member Rosa Cantu. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor to approve bylaw proposal 2, Article 5, Section 5, signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye, but aye as well. Motion carries. Dr. Chavez?
Thank you. We move on to Section 2, approval to reschedule the governing board meeting that is typically scheduled for December 9th, to move that particular board meeting to December 16th at 6:30 at the Cartwright large governing boardroom. The reason for this is that I would like to attend the ELL Teacher of the Year banquet, and I'm hoping that each of you would go. I know the executive team has also been invited. The last time this occurred with Tara Smith a couple of years ago, the same thing occurred. We had a board meeting that particular night, and I didn't have the foresight to try to move it. So luckily, Dr. Lawler went in my place and was able to enjoy a nice dinner and introduce Tara Smith. What I'd like to do this time is have all of us there to be able to support Karen Hurley and her outstanding accomplishment. So my proposal would be to move the governing board meeting to December 16th, 2015.
Do we have a motion to reschedule the governing board meeting of December 9th, 2015 to December 16th, 2015 at 6:30 p.m. Same place in the boardroom?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Board Member Melissa Hernandez and second by Board Member Rosa Cantu. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well. Motion carries. We now move to item H, other information discussion items. Request for future agenda items as information as last discussion at the December 16, 2015 meeting. Do we have any requests at this time? Board Member Cantu?
Yes, Mr. President, Dr. Chavez, do we have any, I'm sure we do, policy for, and this was something that was brought up in the retreat about the attendance. Do we have the attendance of board members policy? Can we review that for next board meeting?
Yes, so there is a policy for governing board members and their attendance, and we can surely bring it for first reading in December, and then second reading could be in February, to review it, and then also to make any revisions that we think are applicable to our particular board.
Okay. I would like to make a request for that.
And do we concur?
Any other requests?
If we could go back, once we finish with this, to go back to the bylaws, to be able to authorize me to do the online voting for the governing board. That way that particular item, we can take care of it before November 30th, if you would respectfully do that.
Okay, any other requests at this time for item H1? Hearing none, let's move back to item G1. Do we have a motion to appoint Dr. Chavez to be a representative for the Cartwright School District to cast a vote on behalf of the governing board and school district office?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was moved by Board Member Melissa Hernandez and second by Board Member Cantu. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well, motion carries. Congratulations, Dr. Chavez.
Thank you.
Let's move to item H2, job sharing innovation, Dr. Lawler.
Yes, Dr. Lawler, it's all yours.
Thank you. Mr. President, Dr. Chavez, members of the governing board. Dr. Murphy couldn't be here tonight. However, if he were here, he would want to share with the audience that HR spends and still spending a lot of time hiring. And Plan A is to have every classroom filled. Plan B is to try to find innovation and different ways to ensure that classrooms are filled, as Mrs. Marisaronas said earlier, and all of you feel the same way, to make sure that our kids have a quality teacher in the classroom. And so we went out with HR, Educational Services, to see if there were agencies, et cetera, out to see if we could fill in some of our positions with some highly qualified teachers. And we did some, but not the quality that we're looking for. We still had many classrooms that were overcrowded, some in the 40s, a revolving door. And so HR came to me and said, you know, we need to ask you this, but you're kind of at Plan D. And it was really important that the plans that they had spoken about, that we did not want to take any of our math or reading interventionists or instructional coaches out of their positions, because we felt very strongly that the professional development that the coaches provide and the interventions that they provide for Tier 3 are just so crucial to the children, that we had to look at how we could utilize some of the teachers who were working in ed services to help with this job sharing innovation. So I came with my team of amazing directors, and this was what we came up with, and we feel like we are making a difference. I'm not going to say that it's not a challenge in ed services, because it involves 19 teachers that have been working here in the district. If you look at my directors today, and in the next few months, they will have aged. I see Dr. Jasmer out there trying to add more to the plate. Has been very challenging, but not one person said, we're not going to do this. They come in and they teach half-time, and then they come to the district office either in the morning or afternoon, and they come in at 7:30, they leave after 3:30. They don't do time cards, but they do recognize that we're trying to cut their work down. It's hard for people to give up what they've been doing. It's hard to put it all in a school day, so we're trying to still work out that. But the positive spirit that our team has put forth is really, really amazing. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit about what we're doing. So, you know, I do quotes there. We have a standing meeting every morning at 7:45 on Monday, and it's a stand-up meeting, very quick, what's happening in the department, and we always have a quote. And so I really wanted to ensure that when someone applies to be a teacher mentor, they really want to be mentoring teachers. When someone applies to be a STEM specialist in instructional technology and they're working with, that's what their goal was. But when you ask them to stop what they're doing and change in the next day, it's very difficult. But this quote really epitomizes the team and how they said, well, we're gonna do this, and Michael Jordan says, always turn a negative situation into a positive one, and that's what we're doing. So the goal is to have halftime teachers. It's halftime teaching at Atkinson Middle School, Borman Elementary School, Gostrow Middle School, Davidson Elementary School, and C.W. Harris Elementary School. Those were the priorities. There were several openings across the district, but based on the number of individuals we had and the priorities, those were the schools that were the top 5 hotspots. And then the 7 departments that were affected were assessments and data management, federal projects and grants management, language acquisition, response to intervention and accountability, STEM and PLC, special services, and teaching and learning. And so our motto in educational services is to exceed expectations. And so I wanted you to see the amazing teachers. As they say, a picture paints 1,000 words. We have Andrea Palos. She's a language acquisition specialist, and she's teaching halftime 6th grade SEI at Borman. We have Amber Gallardi. She's an induction retention staff developer, and she's teaching 4th grade at Davidson. We got Dr. John Hecht in special services, teaching 6th grade LFI at Atkinson Middle School. We have Autumn White, special service specialist, who's teaching 7th grade math and science at Borman. We have Heather Check. She's our district gifted coordinator, and she's teaching 8th grade social studies and writing at Borman. We have Vanessa Zarita, our language acquisition instructional tech specialist, and she's teaching 7th grade science at Gastro. We have Shannon Pinnell, our STEM and PLC instructional technology specialist, and she's teaching 7th grade science at Gastro. We've got Tony Bustamante. He's an induction retention staff developer specialist, and he's teaching 7th grade science and writing at Harris. We have Holly Nanchnik. She's an induction retention staff development specialist, and she's teaching 7th grade reading and math at C.W. Harris. We've got Kitty Anderson, one of our language acquisition specialists, teaching 3rd grade at Davidson. We have Alex Garcia, our language acquisition specialist, teaching 4th grade at Davidson. We've got David Hernandez, our special services data coach, teacher on special assignment, teaching 8th grade social studies and writing at Borman. We have Shala Nye, our language acquisition district data coach, teacher on special assignment, teaching 7th grade math and science at Borman. We have Debbie Fight, our federal project specialist, teaching 3rd grade at Davidson. We have Donna Moray, our district K-3 Move On When Reading coordinator. She's teaching part-time kindergarten at Davidson. And we have Sarah Kretzmer, another induction retention specialist and staff developer, teaching 7th grade writing at Harris School. We have Faye Utic, induction retention staff development specialist, teaching 7th grade writing at Harris. And Donna Troy, she's actually a Move On and Reading specialist at Davidson, and she's partnering up with Donna Murray, not to confuse the 2 Donnas there, at Davidson, and she's teaching kindergarten. So what's best about our specialists being in the classroom? They've been helping with the amazing many hundreds of teachers working on the Guaranteed and Viable Curriculum assessments in our department. And so they are actually implementing our Guaranteed and Viable Curriculum, which is very helpful because they're seeing it in action. And so that's one of the reason the quote was beneficial, was turning a negative situation to a positive one. They're actually living the curriculum, and they're learning about it as all other teachers are. And our goal in Cartwright is to ensure that all our students are college and career ready. And so we will do whatever it takes to make sure that our kids get everything that they need. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lawler. And you don't know about this one either, neither do the executive assistants. Today I was at Harris School, and there's a need for a group of students, the most challenging students at Harris. I'll be meeting with them once a week beginning in January for 7 weeks and potentially for 14 weeks. So if staff needs to do a little bit more and assist at schools, then yours truly will do the same. We're going to work on the schedule beginning in January and hopefully assist those students that need that intervention and prevention structure at Harris School. So we want you to know that everybody hands on deck here at Cartwright School District, all the way from the superintendent on down, are ready to do what it takes to assure that our students get a world-class education. Thank you, Dr. Lawler.
Board Member Cantu.
I could say many things, but wow. Thank you, Dr. Chavez. Thank you. Because once again, Cartwright has taken the right direction. And to see all these people, all these staff with Ms. Lawler to come and actually take charge of the needs of the district, it's just unbelievable. I wonder who else is doing that? Which other districts is doing it? Where did you get the model? Or it's just Cartwright?
I don't know what the other districts are.
I'm sure there is not, but
I'm very proud of ours.
wow, thank you.
Our staff is simply incredible, and the folks that you saw on the PowerPoint are outstanding teachers, outstanding individuals, and one of the things that we have to think about as we move through this process of having a teacher shortage is that we have to utilize all of our resources within. Plan A, of course, was to try to hire as many folks as we could that were highly qualified and certified. However, that didn't occur, so we went to Plan B, and we have to utilize the talent that we have here at Cartwright. Fortunately, we have a tremendous amount of talent. However, understand that we cannot sustain this forever. We do have to continue to hire teachers and to hire quality teachers. We want to keep that standard so that we don't hire folks that don't meet that standard. Because our teachers that we have are not only trained well, they interact with our kids very well and have a passion for our community, and we want to continue to hire folks like that. So it's something that we have to do, something that is needed, and I'm very happy that our staff has stepped up to the plate. So congratulations to all those folks that did do that, and I know all of the administrators that were here had to look at schedules, look at a variety of things, pull kids, etc. It's a complicated endeavor, and they did so very well. So please give our administrators and teachers a big round of applause.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, thank you, Dr. Pollard. It seems that we also missed something on G2, so we're going back to G2. The approval of rescheduling the governing board meeting for December 9th. G1? H1. Request for future agenda items, information discussion at the December 2016 governing board meeting. We have one from Board Member Cantu. Can you please repeat your request?
We got Mrs. Cantu's. I believe Dr. Chavez has some.
What we would like to do is to move the December 9th governing board meeting to December 16th. And what we need is a motion. We did that one already. Oh, yes. We completed our documentary, and we plan to present that documentary to you in December. We sent it to you and it's on board docs, so you're more than welcome to look at it. But we're gonna have a public outing on December and bring it to the staff and the governing board in December. I had the pleasure of being on Channel 3 in Chicago's por la Causa and meeting with Maria there. We were able to tape a segment, and that segment will be aired. It was the next day that it was aired. It's already been aired once. And then we will also bring it to you in December so that you can see it here live and in person.
Thank you. Let's move on to item I, announcement of future meeting dates and other routine information concerning the governing board. I-1, the next regular governing board meeting with executive session will be held on Wednesday, December 16, 2015 at 6:30 p.m. at the Carver School District Ballroom. Let's move on to item J, adjournment. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Motion made by Board Member Cantu and second by Board Member Marisa Hernandez. All those in favor to adjourn signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned at 7:33 p.m.